The next morning, we said we'd regroup today. I don't know how to occupy myself without the others. But I had been waiting forever, hoping someone else would show up. No one had. I wondered if they were all still sleeping. It's already past noon, though. I wish at least one of them would bother to check in. Maybe I'll go check on someone. Jevite? Jevite? Yeah, we did it! We're on the route, baby! Jevite, are you there?
Is that you, Cyrus? Hold on a second. Let me just tidy things up real quick.
Oh, if you're busy, I can come back later.
No, that isn't necessary. A cute young woman has come calling on me. That requires a certain level of presentability, don't you think? There.
Aw, he thinks she's a cute young woman. She is. Alright, well, you just wanted things to be tidy.
Now, what can I do for you?
Nothing. I didn't mean that. It's a little intimidating, standing face to face with him. He was so close. It made me want to put more distance between us. That sounds about right. But instead, we went into his room. I averted my eyes for a moment and caught a peek, inside his room. Those are... His table was littered with scrolls. It looked like he was in the middle of work. I should have known better. He's the last person I need to be bothering over something so trivial. I'm terribly sorry. You seem busy.
No, not at all. There's no need to apologize. You wanted to speak with me, didn't you? I think that's wonderful.
I couldn't possibly ask you to waste your precious time on me.
Now, don't say that. If you aren't busy, then let's spend some time together. Why don't we get out of here first, though?
Let's blow this popsicle stand. Where are we going? This almost feels forced. Maybe it was my own fastidiousness and professionalism talking, but I was worried I had dragged him away from something. He can be so stubborn. I think I should check one last time, though. Jevite, are you sure it's okay for you to go out? Don't you have more important things to attend to?
Important? Spending time with you is what's most important. I long to know more about you. Oh, and your country, of course.
You said that like it was an afterthought.
One reason is official, the other is personal. At any rate, spending time with you is like killing two birds with one stone, so it works out perfectly. And besides which, you're cute, to put it mildly.
Cute. Children, pets, illustrations, and a book. The word cute had different connotations depending on what it was describing. When he called me cute, he might have been saying he finds me attractive. Well done. It was, after all, one of the top 10 pickup lines that men use. Wow. We'd learned about it at the 7th seminar. Is he trying to seduce me? In the middle of the day with so many people around? How scandalous.
What's wrong? Didn't you want to spend time with me?
Well, yes, but... Is it part of your country's culture to indiscriminately seduce members of the opposite sex?
I'm sorry, I don't follow you.
You keep calling me cute, even though we just met. Perhaps I'm overthinking it.
I'm glad you were thinking about it, at least. Let me explain. For many years, people in your country were required by law to marry whoever their assigned partner was, right? Things aren't like that here in Cainabel. Look, you've had a name since you were a child, haven't you?
I've always been Cyrus, if that's what you mean.
In Cainabel, children aren't given names. In fact, they're treated as if they don't exist. Although, is it possible to treat them as anything when no one even acknowledges their presence?
Okay, that was not the kind of cultural thing I was expecting to learn today. But that's interesting.
Anyway, there's a reason for this. The infant mortality rate here is quite high. Can you imagine the pain of losing a child you've lovingly cared for? That's why they aren't given names or personal affection. We keep them at a distance.
Whew. Alright, that's a tough one, man. Yikes.
Only the ones who survive are accepted into their families and into society. That is our custom here. High mortality doesn't just affect children either. Healthy young adults can also die from the most trivial causes. That's why we live and love in the present.
Love.
People in the desert don't have the luxury of second-guessing themselves. Pause to think and your blood stops. You're as good as dead. So we don't hesitate to make advances when we're interested in someone. But for me at least, it isn't indiscriminate. It's because I'm interested in you. Does that answer your question?
More or less. But it's difficult for me. I don't know how to respond.
Love doesn't have to be difficult. My reasons for liking you are clear enough. You're attractive, sensible, kind, fun to be around, calm. Don't make it into a big thing. You find it complicated because you see it as special.
That'd be an interesting... Well, I say that would be... It's an interesting coupling for these two. We are on his route after all. For someone who's like, live in the moment, love just kinda is. It's not this big thing. It just, you know, it could happen today, it could happen tomorrow, it could happen, I could meet somebody in 3 days and be like, I don't know who you are anymore. Because I've fallen in love with someone else. And for Cyrus with her background, it's like, love wasn't really a thing to be considered. It's just like, if you happen to get that, fantastic. But the culture is just, you are assigned a marriage mate and you learn to love them or you don't. And now things have changed in the culture where it's like, you can, you know, develop feelings for somebody and then marry them that way. But Cyrus still is like very asexual, really, where she doesn't view romance in that way yet, even though she's like trying to adjust her viewpoint towards that. She's still like, her natural inclination is just, you know, I like you as a person, and romance doesn't really come into the picture. So it's interesting for these two to get together. I wonder where they will meet in the middle.
Love is just something that happens spontaneously. Like a sand dragon. Even if you don't understand right now, you'll fall in love with someone eventually.
You think so?
Yes. We may have been raised in completely different environments, but we can communicate. We can reach one another. We can do so many of the same things, so why should love be any different?
You've really given me a lot to think about.
I was kind of hoping you would be impressed and fall head over heels for me, but I suppose that's a bit much. There must be some way of deepening our understanding of each other. What's a question you would like to ask me?
About you?
About anything. I'll answer anything you want, provided I'm able.
In that case... ask how many women he's tried to pick up. I mean, he probably hasn't kept count. Honestly. If it's like, love is a fleeting thing, blah blah blah. But you are interested in swords. That's always your go-to line when you go on dates back home. So you're trying to show some personal interest. Why not? And he liked the question. Cool. I was kind of wondering if maybe this was a... it doesn't really matter either way, but it did matter. Are you confident in your ability with the sword?
My... what?
Your swords here are different. I noticed it when we first met. You look like you train hard, and you seem to be quite capable. Are you?
Well enough. I can protect myself, at least. I prefer to handle things on my own rather than hide until help arrives.
Do you often have to defend your life?
On occasion. This country has been on shaky ground for a while. People, am I right? I don't enjoy it, though. Fighting only leads to sorrow. I guess that's not the sort of thing I should say to someone holding a sword, is it?
Swords aren't just tools for fighting, you know. The simple act of wearing one can be a form of silent power. They can stop a fight before it starts. I find them useful.
I see. So, am I confident in my ability with the sword? I can't believe that was your first question.
Should I have asked something else?
No, it seems perfect for you. Although, that's just my impression. I don't know if it's actually true. So tell me, everything you can until I'm sick of it. I want to know more about you.
Alright. Well, Cyrus, talk the man's ear off.
I had fun today. It was a nice change of pace.
Oh, you're finally back.
Gah!
I told you I had urgent business to discuss. Why did you run away?
I didn't run away. I just needed some exercise to get my blood flowing. And I've come up with a great idea. I can't wait for you to hear it.
Really?
Of course, would I lie to you? Don't answer that. But I'm not so irresponsible that I would abandon such important matters. Sorry to cut this short, but I need to go. Thank you for today. I'll see you later.
Of course. Good luck with your work. I stared at the closed door in front of me and let out a brief sigh. I knew it was a mistake to leave the palace with him. My instincts were right. I shouldn't have taken time out of Jevite's busy day. You guys could be a potentially good balance for each other, though, because you're, like, very responsible to the point of being too responsible. He's very flighty. He really doesn't want to be responsible for anything. So, maybe you guys can balance each other. Although we did get to discuss Cainabel's attitude toward family values, mainly love, even a brief discussion like that would be useful information for the Heights. Wouldn't it? I wasn't so sure now. The legislator will be the judge of whether it's useful or not. My job is just to record my experiences. I went back to my room and wrote down everything that had happened today. Jevite called me cute, and we talked about love and swords. It was a great time. Okay, I think we can skip ahead a little bit. Yeah. Because this is like her writing up about what happened. How's the buggy repairs going? Let's talk about the local government. Why not? And then it's on its way, and then we talk about the Queen Mother. She might be planning something. Yeah, I think we can safely skip through all that. Oh, right, I'm using the wrong skip thing. I'm like, wait, I don't remember this. I'm using the wrong skip button. This game has two skip buttons. One's like a forced skip, and one is skip until new dialogue, and I'm always defaulting to the forced skip by accident. So I'm like, wait, I don't recognize this drinks with the boys at night scene. Hold on. We gotta go back. One night.
Cheers.
Cheers!
What are you sulking about? You've lived in polite society for how long and you can't give a simple toast? Even Ulrik can do it. It's embarrassing that a social misfit like me has to tell you.
Even Ulrik? What's that supposed to mean, huh?
You're a social misfit too, just a different kind.
That's not true! I'm way better adjusted than you are!
Oh yeah? Is that why everyone calls you a rat?
Only a handful of creeps call me that. Hey, you over there. Does this place sell hard cider? Bring me one.
Way to change the conversation.
You drink.
Sometimes. I've got a higher tolerance than you, I'll bet.
Of course you do. It would be ridiculous to suggest otherwise.
You say that like you're boasting.
Why do I have to sit with these two?
Ah, finally he speaks. Don't try to make sense of it. We all happened to bump into each other, and it happened to be dinner time, so we might as well eat together. Besides, we might have separate allowances, but I'm sure it's easier to manage if we share the same tab.
I guess.
Am I invited to this dinner, or am I just like a fly on the wall at this moment between like the three boys going out for dinner and being like, I think Cyrus is falling for this king guy, and let's get drunk. Is that what's happening right now?
Are you in a bad mood because Cyrus isn't here? Aren't you too old for a security blanket?
Adage, this is why I love you. You answer my questions immediately after I ponder.
What? You can say that again. He always acts like some helpless kitten when Cyrus is around. Meow meow.
You're one to talk. Anytime something happens, you always go crying to Elt.
Damn! Pew, 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 pew. What? That's not true at all. I'm nowhere near as bad as Finn here.
Don't point at me. You could have just said no if you didn't want to eat with us. In fact, why didn't you? Cyrus said you two should try to get along better since we're in this together.
Ah, she ordered you here, didn't she? Then perhaps you could try to cheer up a little. Your attitude's making the food taste worse. Just try to forget about her for a little while. Adage, do you have any drugs that can help with that?
Unfortunately, no. Medicine can only do so much. Don't make fun of me. Fine, I'll try to cooperate. I don't want my personal feelings to get in the way of her request.
There you go, that's the spirit. Oh, my cider's here. Hey, could you bring a glass of whatever the house specialty is? This guy wants a drink.
I do?
You just said you don't want your personal feelings to get in the way, right? Then prove it.
A splendid idea. Alcohol stimulates dopamine secretion. You'll perk up in no time. Relax, I'm a doctor. I can save you, no matter how drunk you get. I hate this.
Get drunk, Finn. It's fine. The boys are trying to cheer you up. It's okay. Ooh. Alright. We woke up and it's an immediate... something different's happening. It's morning, but still too early for breakfast. Maybe I could take a walk and get some exercise. It's quiet out. I guess because the sun just came up. The only people around are guards. The weather is so chilly. Maybe I should have worn my jacket. Ah, that's... Finn! Okay. Oh, right. We did your route last time, so this is probably your... Hello! I'm here to interrupt your route.
Cyrus, why are you out of breath?
I thought we were friends. If you were going to practice your sword fighting, you should have called me.
Oh, no, this is... I mean, I wouldn't exactly call it practice. It's just my routine. You know I'm not very good to begin with, so if I slack off, I'm afraid my skills will dull even more.
You're swinging your sword around, so it looks like practice to me. I rushed back to get my own blade, that's why I'm breathing so hard. But I didn't mean to stop you. I'm here to spar.
Spar? I don't think that would be a fair match.
What, you think you can beat me?
No, just the opposite. It's fine. Please, just be gentle with me.
Well, you'd better not hold back. Now come at me!
Here I go. Ha!
It's been a long time since I crossed swords with Finn. We used to spar like this once a month before the partner system was abolished. Did I forget how strong he was? Or could it be... Finn has gotten stronger? Going head-to-head wasn't an option against an opponent his size. His raw power was just too great. I can't do anything about that, no matter how hard I try. But it wasn't a question of pure strength. Once you factored in skill, anything was possible. That's what I like about sword fighting. As long as you don't give up, eventually you'll reach the light. There! I took advantage of an opening and closed the distance between us. If I could get my sword against his throat, I'd be the victor. What? Ooh, how the turntables! Hey, we got his other CG. Wonderful. I think I gotta do the boop and the boop. Kind of wish we had had the CG during his route, though. There's the intense spin. Whoa. I keep forgetting about my gesturing. There's the intense spin from the original Steam Prison. Finn blocked and deflected my blade with his own, spinning around behind me. Then he shoved me in the back and grabbed me by the shoulders.
I believe that's the match.
If this had been a real fight, he would have run me through from behind. And you didn't believe in yourself. You beat me, Finn. You've improved.
Well, it was close. I just got lucky. Call it a fluke or something.
You won. Stop being so modest. It's annoying to hear you belittle yourself when you didn't even lose.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Like I just said. But I guess your humility is one of your charms. Don't. I wonder if we have time for another round. Give me one more chance.
For you, there's always time. Thank you for this.
My pleasure. Let's both keep trying our hardest. Oh no, not the Finn perspective. You gonna hit me with that? Oh, alright, well.
I'd only meant to drop off my sword, but the moment I set foot inside my room, I was overcome with exhaustion. Leaning my back against the closed door, I let out a heavy sigh. Oh, that was surprising. Not just that Cyrus had suddenly appeared, but the fact that she challenged me, and the fact that I won. It almost felt like I'd been dreaming. I was that surprised. Of course I hadn't intended to lose, but I never expected to win either. She was so cute.
Oh no. Another one is like, she's so cute.
My heart was a jumble of emotions, and the words just spilled out of me. I knew it was inappropriate, but I couldn't stop myself from grinning. That hint of frustration in her smile, even as she praised me, was just so her. I was thrilled that I had been able to see it up close.
Finn? Are you still coming?
Oh, yes! I'll be right there! I put my sword away and slapped my cheeks to snap myself out of my reverie. I didn't want anyone to think I had ulterior motives. I did my best to act normal. Thanks for waiting. Ready to go, Cyrus?
And where are you two off to? Getting drinks? Alright, get me back on the path, please. Several days later. Ah! Alright, it's mother time, eh? Let's see. Where should we begin? Okay, so we finished our letter. Our report or whatever. If I could only probe deeper. Who knew what I might discover? What did you want to talk to Jevite about, just out of curiosity? Oh yeah, about, like, the monarchy, specifically. Okay. I'll talk with Jevite about it. If he answers no, he answers no. And then we get to speak with Mom. Jevite, are you there? Maybe he's out. Jevite?
What? Who is it?
The Queen Mother. I'd seen her in town before and had a pretty good sense of her personality from the rumors and stories I'd heard, so I instantly recognized her. But it was my first time speaking directly to her, and my words caught in my throat. I wondered if I should feign ignorance. All the information swirling around my head was making it difficult to speak.
Mother, I told you I was going out. See? She's waiting for me. Oh, I guess I might as well. Allow me to introduce you. Mother, this is Cyrus. She's one of the people who came from across the fog. Cyrus, this is my mother, the late king's wife. That is to say, the Queen Mother.
It seemed that Jevite wanted to make an official introduction, even though I already knew who she was. Having guessed his intentions, I nodded slightly. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Cyrus.
Maeve, I had been curious about you, Kesharak, but I must say you seem surprisingly normal.
Despite her supposed curiosity, I didn't detect much interest in her voice. She had already paid a visit to Adage, but apparently I didn't warrant her attention. Actually, that reminds me. Queen Mother, I apologize for Adage's behavior the other day.
Oh? You apologize? What did he do?
It seems he rather bluntly declined an invitation to drinks with the Queen Mother.
Is this true, Mother?
Well, it's rather embarrassing. You see, I had heard from one of the handmaidens that he was a doctor. So I thought he might be in possession of some sort of rejuvenating medicines.
Mother...
Don't give me that look. I am still a woman. I want to remain beautiful until the end of time.
I see. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I'm sorry, Cyrus. I'm in the middle of something right now. If we could talk later.
No, I was just leaving. I only came to pass the time anyway. Far be it from me to keep my precious son from spending time with a lovely young lady.
I appreciate your consideration. I'm glad the two of you got the chance to meet, Mother.
The Queen Mother gave a slight bow and began leisurely walking toward the back of Jevite's room. The decorative bells on her clothes jingled as she moved. Then they were silenced by the sound of a closing door. Awkward.
This room has several hidden entrances. We typically use that one over there.
I see. It makes sense as a precautionary measure. If there's only one way in or out, you could easily get trapped in here.
That's right. It probably drives the servants crazy, though. It makes it much easier for me to slip away. Rejuvenating medicines, huh?
My group and I were discussing why she would have reached out to Adage, but I never thought it would be that. She was even blushing. I feel so guilty. What's the matter, Jevite?
No, it's nothing. Anyway, what brings you here? Can I do something for you?
I'm not sure if it's appropriate for me to ask this, but I'd like to know more about your country's monarchy.
The monarchy?
I've more or less learned the basics during my time here, but I wanted to ask someone from the royal family directly.
Looking for the inside story, huh?
Is it too much to ask?
No, it's not like I have anything I want to hide. I'm just worried I might have trouble explaining things that seem obvious to me, but wouldn't necessarily be for you. I don't really know much about how other countries are run, so is it okay if I use Cainabel as my reference point?
Of course! Thank you so much for indulging me.
Don't thank me yet. I'm still worried I won't be able to answer all your questions. Alright. Why don't we jump straight to the nation's founding? This country was born in the aftermath of the Sheilab.
Sheilab?
Do you not have that word? It means swelling waters.
Oh, that sounds like it could be the Great Flood, the one that covered the whole world.
Yes, exactly. We were affected by it, just like everyone else. When the Sheilab began and the people were in a panic, a man named Cainabel built a great ship and gave them shelter. The ship was tossed by the Sheilab for 100 days and nights, circling the world before finally running aground here. Cainabel spent half a day piling up mud to create the earth, and in a single night, he cultivated the soil and gave the people a place to sleep. The survivors settled this land, and Cainabel became their leader. This is my country's oldest legend, passed down from the beginning. The king's duty is to ensure the prosperity of the country and the livelihoods of its people. After the death of great King Cainabel, these responsibilities were passed on to his descendants, and eventually to me and my brother. What about in your country? The priest seems to hold the highest position, but were his ancestors always in charge?
No, Saint Yune is ageless and immortal. He's one of a kind.
Immortal? That can't be true, can it? I mean, I know our story is far-fetched, but that's just unbelievable. Though I guess legends tend to be that way.
He didn't seem to take Saint Yune seriously. Without any proof, I doubt I could change his mind. Swallowing my frustration, I began asking the questions that had been bubbling up inside me. You described your monarchy as a direct succession, but right now there are two of you in charge, not one. Could you explain to me again how this came to be?
Of course, but it's really not that complicated. In this country, the ruler can name whoever they would like as their successor. In theory, even a slave could become king if nominated. The late king died without choosing a successor. That was unprecedented, so there was some debate, but historically kings have been succeeded by their biological children, so it was decided that we should follow in that tradition. The problem was, he had two children. In terms of birth order and ability, my older brother was the most obvious choice. The so-called Queen Mother camp was reluctant to support this, however, so a two-king system was agreed upon.
I see. The story I heard from the old shopkeeper somehow felt more real now. The two kings may have been officially in charge, but the Queen Mother's influence behind the scenes was far from negligible. What do you think will happen going forward? Will the monarchy remain split?
Well, the current system is unstable and will probably fail before long. Any form of leadership that comes to a screeching halt each time two people disagree isn't very healthy or productive, is it? But as for which of us will inherit the throne, my wise older brother is the likely candidate, although it's hard to know for sure. Like I said, this is unprecedented. If only the late king had lived longer. If he had at least chosen a successor, then we wouldn't be in this mess. It was a hell of a parting gift. You know, a monarchy. It's not just the king living it up behind the palace walls. You have to lead the people, just as the moon illuminates the darkness, and provide for them, just as the sun gives life to the crops. Your body belongs to your country, from before you're born until after you die. Well, does that clarify things at all?
Yes. I know it's a cliché, but that sounds like a lot of pressure.
We live off of taxes collected from the people. We have to devote ourselves to them in order to set a good example. And besides, it would be much worse to see the country fall. That's why my only choice is to give my life to preserve it. Wow, that didn't sound like me at all. It actually sounded respectable. Please don't credit my name if you put that in your notes.
I'm not so sure that's true. I think it's just like you to face your responsibilities head-on like that.
I appreciate the sentiment, but my brother is the one more suited to these things. I wish I could find a way to just quietly step down. Like eloping with someone, for instance. Say, Cyrus, would you marry me?
What?
Of course, we wouldn't remain here. And I guess the neighboring countries are also out of the question. We'd be sitting ducks for the royal families. Which means your country will be best. No one there knows who I am. Think of it as a favor to me. Well, what do you say?
This time, I can actually mean the triple dots. There we go. If only I could have expressed my reservations clearly, but for some reason the words wouldn't come. Maybe it's because this is my chance to pay him back for everything he's done? I couldn't say. Something was holding me back and I didn't know what.
Huh? I'd assumed you would flat out refuse. Are you actually considering it?
I'm not sure. I don't know how to answer.
Well, in my humble opinion, if you're reluctant, you should just refuse. You'll only get my hopes up otherwise. The question doesn't have a right or wrong answer. Listen to your feelings. You know, if this is a bargaining tactic on your part, then you have my respect. Well done, naughty girl.
Naughty girl? That wasn't my intent at all. I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable.
Oh, stop. You don't have to act so polite. It figures you wouldn't do it on purpose. Of course, that's naughty in its own right. I don't mind. If anything, it only makes me more interested. Running off somewhere with you would probably make things easier on my brother.
Don't say that. He would be so worried.
No, he wouldn't. That guy can't stand me. I'm not sure if anyone's told you, but he and I have different mothers. His mother, the queen, died before I was born.
And then his father, too. That's so sad.
Tell me about it. That man has a curse on his head. He's been unlucky from the moment he was born. Growing up, Mother showered me with affection, but she ignored him. I could never have a normal conversation with him until I was older.
That's interesting. So your mom didn't follow, like, the culture here? I wonder what the cutoff age is for, like, showing attention to your children. Like, if they live till 10? 13? When are they past, like, the danger, you know, the most common danger zone? And did your mom just show you affection regardless of what culture dictated?
Before that, well, a lot happened. As a child, I kept my distance from him. It was innocent, but still cruel. I'm sure he found me just as bothersome in his own way, though. To him, I was nothing but a disagreeable child who threatened his position. I grew up free-spirited. Meanwhile, he was always taking responsibility, regardless of the cost to himself. He worked very hard to become a wise king. And yet, somehow, his half-wit brother ended up taking the throne alongside him. He should be the one reaping the rewards, not me. I think the late king's death was...
King Jevite, there you are. King Jereme has summoned you.
Whoops, bad timing. Okay, I'll be right there.
You think the king's death was what?
Nothing. Forget about it. Everything we spoke of here, including what I said just now, must remain between us, okay? It could cause unrest if anyone else knew.
I understand. I won't breathe a word.
Good girl. I'll see you around, Cyrus.
Well, we certainly got more than we bargained for. I'm glad I was able to ask him about the monarchy, but I had the feeling I was treading on treacherous ground, and it left me unsettled.
I think the late king's death was...
I wondered what the rest of that sentence was. Probably not caused by Kadayu, but maybe something else. A person, perhaps. The Queen Mother's face suddenly popped into my head, no doubt because I had just bumped into her. Did this happen the first time I played through this and I just have forgotten? Or is this specifically because we're on Jevite's route?
No one mourned harder than she.
Is what the old man had told me. Not to mention she had sworn her life to him. It seemed unlikely she had anything to do with it. So, who else? Who would benefit from the late king's death? It was hard to cast doubts on others, but at the same time, I knew from my job that some people just couldn't stay out of trouble. It seems that light and darkness exist here, too. The temple used to turn a blind eye to inconvenient truths all the time. Population control measures where the government chose your partner. Abortion policies that purge lives deemed to have no value. And those were just the ones I knew about. Acts of brutality beyond my imagination were probably carried out in the shadows. Not that things were like that in Cainabel, but this country seemed to be dealing with its own problems. Jevite's dark smile told me that. As an outsider, all I can do is hope for the best. I prayed that Jevite would find happiness, and that his love toward his brother would be repaid.